Good morning and welcome to Monday. Today, I've got Mr. Miles, who is not wanting to be held on to. He's brother to Odo, who I had last week. Um, but he was just in my office, and I was thinking, oh man, I could just grab him right now and pick him up, scoop him up, and talk about him. And then the second I turned around to get him, he went running out of the office. So I had to chase him down, and now he's acting like I'm torturing him by loving on him. But like I said, he was one of the six kittens that came from Fluff. Um, and he's my little anxious boy. Overthinks everything. Loves having the top of his head uh, pet and licked on. Uh, but I think that he's the exception to the orange cat meme that the internet is so enamored with because he is such a smart cat. Like everything he does, he's very curious about everything around him. But look at his face. Look at that face. It's so good. But if you saw his eye wink, that's his stressed out eye wink. Which normally that's when I stop holding on to him or loving on him when he starts doing that because he'll just be like, "Right, buddy." But he's got gorgeous golden eyes. Yes, he does. But he's the reason I've got this Rocketeer poster right here that is blocking the fish tank because on top of the fish tank I used to have a huge Lego Voltron statue that I don't know if it was him or not, but a cat got up there and knocked the Voltron statue over, and they knocked over a Star Wars big walker thing from the first season of The Mandalorian. I had both of those up there thinking, surely the cats wouldn't jump up there. Well, I was wrong about that. Cats will jump up there. I was actually sleeping on my futon in here, taking a nice little nippy nap, and woke up to all those Legos falling off the fish tank and just exploding all over the place. I scooped up all the parts that I could find and put them in a bag and figured, I'll get to this when I have the emotional fortitude to like try to figure out how to put it all back together. Uh, and that was a while ago. That was a few months ago. Uh, bigger things have come up since then. In fact, I want to say this was January of last year, so we're probably past a year of when I did that. I've also got a light kit to install on that Voltron set, so maybe I could use this opportunity to do the light kit that's on there. Maybe, I don't know, possibly. Uh, Anyways, that was Mr. Miles. So now I've got 5 for 5 cats. Maybe I'll have a cat with me every morning when I start this, so I can have a cat in every thumbnail. It's a good way to start your day. Have a cat in your lap or a cat in your room. Right, Miss Bean? Hey, where? No? Okay. Well, Bella's on the floor here. Who she has like 1,000 names. Bella Trix is her full name. Bellatrix. Uh, Named for the star because her family all had star related names. So the mom was Nyx, and she had 2 brothers, Rigel and Beetlejuice, who we called Beetlejuice was just BG because Beetlejuice is too big of a name to to say every time that he's getting into something. And I laugh because Beetlejuice the star is a very large star. So that was a pun, and I laughed at my own pun. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So Friday and the weekend, I guess. Today's gonna be a big update. Friday, I got the scanner out. I got the scanner set up, so now it's taken up a huge amount of room on my side table here that I've got next to my desk. I tore out a rose bush that has always been struggling. Ever since I bought this house, there was like 3 or 4 rose bushes along the edge of my property by the road, and they've never done much. And I'll be honest, I did not know what to do with those rose bushes, so uh, we'd gotten to the point where only one of them was still alive, and that one was looking kind of on its last legs too. So I just bit the bullet and dug it up. The problem with that, though, of course, was that rose bushes have thorns. So I was super careful not to get stuck by the rose bushes, but this particular rose bush also had a giant fire ant nest at the very bottom of it, and I thought I was being careful enough to not like get any of those ants on me, but I've got ant bites all the way up and down my right arm, which suggests I was not careful enough. So that was fun. Those little buggers, they bit as soon as they landed on me, and I think it was when I was like knocking out the dirt from the root ball that was left. Uh, they must have like gone flying up into the air. That was terrible, terrible. And I think that what I'm going to replace those rose bushes with is just some azaleas, which are gorgeous bushes that are very popular around here in Tallahassee. I'm going to see if I can't get all of the same color, or maybe I can alternate two different colors along that front. I have to figure out how to color coordinate that with my house. So I have a blue house. I need to find something that looks okay with blue. Like white is obviously the easiest one to do, but I'll see what my options are. Obviously that's going to be after I find a new job, which isn't today. Maybe it could be today. I don't know. Because something else I did on Friday was had a third business meeting, which went very, very well. And I believe that we're going to come to a mutual contracted understanding for services and payment, and it's very exciting. Lots of room for opportunity with this deal, and then later that day, I had a an interview with a website called Quark's Corner. It was a text-based interview, but it's it the post has gone live now. But it's about the Star Trek Book Club website that I run, which is essentially a database of all Star Trek books, comic books, and magazines, and other printed materials for Star Trek. So, like, if it ended up on paper, that's what I'm shooting for to be on this website. So there's actually some really cool stuff on there, like sheet music for music soundtracks, the lobby cards, which isn't a thing that they really do anymore, but back in the day they used to have like photos of like movie scenes to try to entice you to go see the movie. Uh, and they've packaged them up into books, sort of books, more of a portfolio than a book, but just the same. In my mind, it counts. Same with like the art books that currently are still in vogue. Uh, so, anyways, I was super excited to have that happen because I have high hopes for that website. I'm really hoping to get through these contacts that I have with the site. I'm hoping to get in contact with the actual IP owners and get an official approval to use uh, content other than the stuff that I'm comfortable using that is like a fair use. Because just using the book cover for a comic book or a full length book to reference the book itself or the art, uh, I'm comfortable feels within the fair use realm. Uh, Whereas like having book previews and that kind of stuff, that is a little less. In fact, I would say like republishing previews is outside the realm of free use. And I've already talked to some people at IDW, the current publisher of the comic books for Star Trek, and I think that we're on track to get permission from them to republish previews, but uh, I haven't really built a connection with the publishers, which there's two main ones right now: Titan Books and Pocket Books, or Simon and Schuster's the parent company, and then they have some genre brands under them like Gallery Books and Pocket Books, and I think there's another one. Inscription, Spiron, Inception. I want to say it starts with an I, but regardless, I need to talk to them. But of course, the clock is running out on that because I want to say that company was just sold to a private investment fund that may not necessarily retain sole rights to publishing Star Trek books. So we'll see how that shakes out. Um, maybe they've got a long term contract, maybe they don't. But back in the day, Simon and Schuster was owned by the same company that owns Paramount slash CBS, which owns Star Trek. So it was really easy to figure out the licensing because the same parent company owned all of them. And you just had to figure out who was paying for the right to print various things. Anyways, way into the weeds for just a daily stand up. I wrote a couple movie reviews. I still have like about 10 of them that I like. I've seen the movie. I need to write something about them. And movies that are still in theaters deserve more than just a hey, I saw this movie, it was good. So the two that I wrote, I'm actually okay with like what I put out there. And the third one is the ISS movie, which um, the more I think about it, the more like my opinion on that movie grows. I haven't read anyone else's reviews about it yet, but I think that as a product, it works, and that it was an enjoyable experience. I'm gonna have to put my thoughts down into words and put it up on my various sites, though. And then over the weekend, my wife and I went to a park that is relatively new here in Tallahassee called the Debbie Lightsey Park, which has a mile-long trail around two, for the lack of a better word, like natural retention ponds. They're more, you know, true Florida kind of like swampy areas that they just went in, put boardwalks in a couple different areas, and then compacted dirt path around the rest of it. And it's nice. It's a short trail, so we did it twice. So we ended up, doing about 2.5 miles with like the diversions that we made to go off on boardwalks. But yeah, it was a nice little trail. Uh, it was a beautiful day out there. We took a couple photos. Probably put some photos up on my website. It was really really funny to see how the temperature changed between being in the sun and under the trees because we're still in that weird, like, is it still winter? Is it sort of spring yet? Who knows? Like, I think we're done with like under freezing temperatures, but nature being nature, who knows? Speaking of weather, that's a good segue to what I'm doing today, which is I'm going to go out and check to see if it's dry enough now to rake up the rest of the front yard. So I've got just like a tiny little patch on this side over here that looks all scraggly and needs some TLC. And then my entire backyard, which I've never raked the entire time I've owned a house. So that's gonna be a thing when I do that. Um, a fun thing, I think. I think it should be fun. Um, build some muscles. Which I think I've decided that before, on days that I'm not doing raking, that before I do these videos, I'm gonna get on the treadmill because the last week, the days that I didn't do any raking and I didn't do any hiking or anything like that, I got like 2,000 steps in the entire day. Whereas if I'm doing raking, I can hit 10,000 before lunch, which is a lot more than 2,000. Um, because about this time last year, I had a medical thing come up that revealed a fatty liver disease and high blood pressure. What else? Like my metabolism was like all over the place. So my doctor said, no more drinking, and you need to work out, and you need to lose weight. So I went from 330 pounds all the way down to like 270. And I was 270 back in like November before Thanksgiving and all that. And after Thanksgiving and after Christmas and New Year's, and sitting on my butt for more than I really need to, like I'm back up to 280. And my goal is to be at 220 by the end of this year. So I need to really start or moving around more, working out more, eating less, and get back on track. Like, it really sucked when I was losing all that weight, but gaining it back is not what I want to do. So I need to have like some sort of accountability. So in these stand-ups, I'm going to be talking about my weight. Not as much as I did this time though. Probably like, hey, today I weighed in at 282. That'll keep me honest. Um, and today I'm if you see the computer behind me here, that's actually the laptop that handles all the streaming in my office. So the fish tank, and whenever I'm on playing video games, everything routes through that computer. So it's a one of two computers that are in here. This is my old gaming laptop from like 10 years ago, and then my current one is down there somewhere. Um, and I'm trying to swap out the old hard drive in it with a SSD, and it has been a bit of a pickle to get figured out because uh, that that side of the computer industry is just like saturated with people advertising software that does the cloning of hard drives, and then you get the whole thing installed. You go through the whole rigmarole of figuring out what you want to do, and then on the last screen, I had four of them do this. On the last screen, say, "Oh, you got to pay $30 to do this." I mean, this kind of software. There's obviously free versions of it out there, and I finally found one. Where was it? Acronis. That's designed specifically for specific OEM uh, drives, and this one is a WD drive, I think. Is that what it says? Yeah, Western Digital. Yeah, so it's gonna be a small SSD that I'm moving everything over to, but doesn't matter. Doesn't need to be huge. It's just handling streaming stuff. So hopefully I'll have that up and running today, but that's going to involve like taking the back plate off of the laptop, which is interesting. It's been a while since I've done that. And then once I have that figured out, I've got a like one of my very last Amazon purchases is finally making its way to me, which is going to be a HDMI splitter slash mirror slash matrixer, which will take four HDMI inputs and put any combination of those four onto two different screens. So you can mirror the same screen on two different outputs. You can have two different outputs on two different screens, or you can just have one screen on, one screen off. It should figure out my issues with having the hot swap cables and what's routing through what to get to the big TV that I have up here, which in this new setup, everything's going to go through the video capture and then go to the TV. It's got to pass through. So in theory, I could hook up my gaming laptop, my PS3, my Xbox, and the Xbox One, because I've got an Xbox 360 still. Um, and then have those output to either my ultra widescreen monitor here or the big TV up there, and then capture anything that's going up to the big TV, because I think that's the only time that I ever really want to capture anything for Twitch is when I'm playing a video game on the TV. Yeah. Okay, and then of course I'm going to be applying for more jobs. Needless to say, a bunch of online applications. If you know anyone hiring a customer support management slash project manager slash data analysis slash WordPress guru, I'm your guy. Send them my way or send me their way. Either way. Um, and then what else do I got? I got trying to figure out a. I've got an account with someone called Uphold that does crypto payments, which I need in order to get paid for Brave browser rewards. I'm pretty sure I have it all figured out and set up correctly. Now I just need to figure out how to get payment out of Brave to me. So why are you down there rubbing your tail over me? I'm trying to do a video here. Come here. Yeah, hi. No, you're gonna run when I try to pick you up. Okay, I'm not gonna pick you up. It's okay. What else have we got? We got start reaching out to people for the Star Trek Book Club because I want to get on podcasts to talk about books, get traffic to the site. And I got a whole bunch of Lego sets over Christmas, and I need to set up a schedule to do one a week. Uh, and they range from smaller sets like a oversized Venom character thing to the Mars Opportunity Rover, which is a huge deal. And I want to stream all that to Twitch when I make them because why make Lego alone when you can do it with 6 to 7 other people that may or may not actually be watching? It should be fun. Uh, and I think that's it. Oh, I'm also washing the blanket that goes on my futon. Um, because I cleaned up everything in here. I was feeling a little overwhelmed with how messy everything was, and it's all nice and clean again, and organized. But that blanket, who my sister was gonna donate it or throw it away or something like that because one of her ex boyfriends got her this like massive like 7 by 10 blanket with a wolf on it, and she's not necessarily into wolves. She wasn't necessarily into the dude anymore. And she's like, I'm just gonna donate it or throw it away. And I was like, I will take that because it is a super soft blanket. It's super warm. I like the wolf that's on it, even though like I'm not really into wolves like per se, but it's gone very well on my futon for years and years and years. But it was the top layer of my futon, and I have had probably about 15 cats lay on it since I last washed it. So it's been a couple years. Uh, so it was time. It wasn't necessarily like dirty, but it had loose cat fur all over it. So it'll be nice to have it washed and clean and smell nice again. And that's my day. I think that's about it. I think that's a full day. I know that now that I am officially jobless, well, I don't have a corporate sponsor, should I say. I feel like I have more to do, or I'm doing more, however that works. Maybe it's because I feel like I'm not tied to my computer, that I just have the freedom to do whatever I want. Because in the past, I had to be ready to turn things on and off and to reboot stuff and to go about the corporate computer stuff that needed to be done. So now I could just do anything I want. All right, wish me luck on this hard drive transfer. It just gave me a warning that uh, the destination drive is too small. Even though the destination drive is a 240 and I'm only using 120 on the other drive, so I'm gonna have to figure out why it's saying that. Anyways, take it easy and I'll see you tomorrow.